Hello, everybody. My name is Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and welcome to another video. And it's a special video. It's a special live discussion. Argentina kick off their Copa America campaign in less than 24 hours. Argentina versus Canada. It's the live preview, live discussion. I'm not alone. I am momentarily. I will be joined shortly by Sebastian Garcia. But as always, let me know in the chat. I know it's a lively chat as always, and I know it's gonna be. Let me know in the chat where you're watching us from, what time it is. We're gonna get to the predictions. We're gonna talk about the starting 11, the rumors, Julian Alvarez, Lisandro Martinez, everything, absolutely everything. We are going to get to it. Let's do it. Let's get to the chat. BC's obviously. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. George saying, I think it's safe to say that all of us found a way to weasel out of work tomorrow. All of us are feeding to see our first game. Depending on what part of the world you are in, you might have to skip work. You might have to work from home. Trust me, in my opinion, I think it's worth it, but to each their own. Let's get to Anthony. Vamos, let's do it. Rohan. Korzenia, 8:40 p.m. in Waterloo, Iowa, USA. Excellent. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Rohan, vamos mundo. Let's do it. Vamos, Rohan. Kshitij, good morning. Good morning. You just woke up. It's New Delhi in India, 7 a.m. Thank you. Thank you for kicking off your morning with us, with me, with everybody here. The passion, the Argentina passion is unparalleled. It's unmatched. It's unmatched. Anthony, it is time for the Copa America. George watching us from the Bronx. As always, welcome, George. Welcome, everybody, as well. We got Joy all the way from Bangladesh. Much love to you as well, my friend. Gaza, let's do it. Varun, Toronto. I'm doing good, buddy. I was just in Toronto over the weekend. Beautiful city. Very, very, very nice city. But now back home and getting ready to watch Argentina and talk with everybody here. BC, Argentina 5-0 versus Canada, same as the last time these two teams met. No more slow starts. Let's send a message to the other teams. And who remembers the last time Argentina played Canada? I'll give you guys a hint. It was in 2010. But we could get to that as well. BP, hello. BC, yeah, that's the love and dedication these Argentina fans have. Us Argentina fans have. Massive. Rohan, 3:30 a.m. here. Just saw Messi Club win versus the league holders. Inter Miami getting the win. Congratulations to them. Rian Heyroy from Nepal. BC, not yet. I'm going to be in Miami for the Argentina versus Peru match, but not in Miami at the moment. We're going to get some more comments coming in, more people coming in. As always, welcome everybody. Let's get to the game, the feeling. How's everybody feeling going into this? I feel like the Copa America, there's something special about it. Obviously, there's something very, very special about a World Cup. Don't get me wrong. And it's the peak, it's the top, cannot be matched. The Copa America, maybe it's because I love South American football. Maybe it's because obviously we're all Argentina fans. It hits differently. The passion, the love, the tactics, the physicality, the game, everything. And I, for one, am loving the hype going into this, and I have no doubt we are going to enjoy the tournament. Now, Argentina versus Canada, obviously the opening match of the Copa America. It's not just Argentina's opening match, but it's the first match of the tournament in the United States. Canada are no pushovers. Recently, a 0-0 draw versus France. Congratulations to them. They have some very, very good players. But going into this game, we all kind of thought, or at least I did, that we would not really get many changes in the starting 11 versus Canada. But that does not appear like it's going to be the case. It looks like we're going to have some changes for the match versus Canada. And the first one looks to be in the back. Now, let me know what everybody thinks about this. But in everything that's coming out today, less than 24 hours before the start of the match, Lisandro Martinez is going to start ahead of Nicolas Otamendi. And I said in the last live discussion, I said I would be surprised if this happened. And not because of, I doubt Lisandro Martinez or anything like that. I'm just kind of surprised Scaloni would do this. But then again, it is Scaloni, and he's done stuff like this in the past, and it has worked out. And obviously, in Scaloni, we trust. But what does everybody, think about this change? Lisandro Martinez starting in place of Nicolas Otamendi alongside Christian Romero. Several of us since the last Copa America, or at the very least since the World Cup, have been saying Lisandro and Cuti are it's the center back partnership of the present and of the future for Argentina. And what kind of a message does this send to a veteran like Nicolas Otamendi and to everybody else on the team? So let's get to the comments. Let's get to all of this. Let's see what everybody is saying. First off, beginning with George saying, we usually start out big tournaments on the wrong foot, but wind up going far. Hopefully we spank everybody leading up to the final this time. Hey, fingers crossed. Why not? BC saying Otamendi's not in his prime. He's 36. He is 36, and Lisandro Martinez is 26. So a 10-year difference. That is a lot. That is a lot. And I do, I'm kind of curious as to why Scaloni would suddenly go with the change. Was it Lisandro Martinez and his two performances versus Ecuador and Guatemala? Was that it? Was that what ended up changing Scaloni's mind going into this game? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Gaza going a little bit up in attack, talking about Garnacho. I think we're going to see a bit of Garnacho for sure. BC, Lisandro kept Haaland from having any chances in the FA Cup final, and he's the best European striker. He did. He kept Haaland at bay, kept him silent. Not for the first time in his career either against Haaland. He's done very, very well. Leon saying he deserves it. Absolutely, in my opinion, Lisandro deserves the start for Argentina. Anthony, great news. We also need to prepare for the center back pairing of Romero and Licha for the World Cup in 2026. And that's in 2 years' time. Already in 2 years' time. But that's for much, much later on. This is the present. And the present is the Copa America. And the present is Lisandro Martinez and Cuti Romero. And the present is Varun's comment right now. So Varun saying Martinez should be the one starting. Hopefully no more injury woes, because this season has been tricky. This is true, and I think this has maybe what has kept Lisandro Martinez out of the starting 11 for Argentina in the last couple of matches, and even giving him the chance to actually start for Argentina is the injuries. So it is the injuries. And now that he's, knock on wood, back healthy, two very solid performances in the last week to week and a half for Argentina, a much-deserved spot. Gaza means he's playing three in the back. Now, is this a possibility? What do you guys think? You think we end up getting three at the back, or maybe a five at the back with Lisandro Martinez and or three center backs plus the full backs, the wing backs? Let me know. Do you think we get 3 or 5 defenders, or do we get the back four? Let me know in the comments. Kshitij saying the future is being looked at now. It's a new beginning. Nico will accept it gracefully, I think. I think so as well. I think, Otamendi knows he is 36. He's very much towards the tail end of his Argentina career. He has to, leave that opening for younger players. And we're talking about Lisandro Martinez, who, in my opinion, is one of the best center backs in the world. I truly, truly believe that. Not just because, he's Argentinian. I'm an Argentina fan. If you watch the guy play, he is solid. He is as solid as they come. So I think Otamendi will take this gracefully. And at the end of the day, I think, Otamendi truly cares about what benefits the team. BP saying Lisandro Martinez deserves that. BD Gamer, Lisandro and Romero is the best duo right now. Varun, I believe Scaloni kind of made it obvious when in the press conference he mentioned Paredes not starting. So he did talk about that a little bit, and he, Scaloni said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here, but kind of like, players get their chances. Some players will come in, some players will come out of starting 11s, and he mentioned Leandro Paredes, who was with him at the press conference. So, maybe he's just sending a message like, hey, kind of no matter who you are, if you're in the team, you could be out. If you're out, you could be in the starting 11. BC says, Messi will sign off at the second World Cup in 2026. That's another thing. Janet, welcome all the way from Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Hello there and all the fans here. Rohan hopes Spatzella knows. We're gonna finish off with this with David. Love from Western Sydney, Australia. Dali Argentina. Welcome, David. Much love to you, my friend, and everybody in Australia. And I am officially not alone anymore. No, 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 no. I am joined by the one and only. I could see him behind. By
Hello,
hello, Seba. How are you?
how are you? Sorry, I got a bit late. I wanted to be here earlier, but yeah, I
Seba's
just couldn't.
fashionably late. Fashionably late.
Yes. I still have some of the decoration from
There you
Manu's
go.
Manu's number ninth birthday. So there you go. You could maybe
Happy
you
birthday
could
to
see
him.
Messi. Messi's over
Kind
here.
of. Yeah, I see the number 10. I see the number 10. Yeah, I think so.
Here's
Yes.
Is Messi? Is
I
Messi
see
doing
him. I
like
see him.
this? Yeah. Uh, Hi, Anthony. You're not my cousin, are you, Garcia? But anyway, we're like 3 million of us. So if you are,
uh,
hola, primo.
there you go. We were, Sebo, we were just talking about, honestly, we're just talking about Lisandro Martinez starting in place of Nicolas Otamendi, which is it's a surprise in my opinion. I didn't think Scaloni would go with this.
Well, we spoke about Licha and Kuti playing together the other day, and how I think we all agree, they are the center back partnership for the future. And why not the present? For Otamendi, Di Maria, I don't want to say Messi, but it's like it could be their swan song tournament. For Di Maria, for sure, he already said it. Hopefully, he changes his mind. He's playing better than better than ever. Never in his life for Argentina he played at this level, and you see him, and he's looking like he could go on. But yeah, for Otamendi, I think time is also catching up, and um, I don't see how anybody can argue
Uh,
be the starting center back for us. So I don't see it as a big surprise.
no, okay, all right, all right. I like that. Yeah, it's look, I talent wise, obviously, it's not a surprise. I was just kind of surprised that Scaloni would still go with this, at least in the opening match, at least in the opening match. But I guess for you, Seba, it's safe to say it's a welcome change, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a change of guard, you could
Yeah.
say. It happens, generations after generations. We've seen it. Um, on current form alone, I think Lisandro is ahead of Otamendi. Of course, when it comes to history, um, accolades, and overall status with the national team, Otamendi is still higher. But I mean, I see no issues. I think after the three of them, then we see a golfing class, and if anybody below those three in the list, if any of those will make it as a starting option, then yes, I will be surprised. But between Kuti, Lisandro, and Otamendi, I think any two that you can pick from there, from those three, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Um, can you bring Corsiniet's comment? Seba,
Let
you
me
ask Angel Di Maria.
to take the highway
And
ones.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, I did respectfully. I always say with Di Maria, it wasn't it was never a case. It was never personal. It was never anything against Di Maria. I actually really liked Di Maria as a guy, as a person, and I believe something happened because the first 10, 12 years it was really, really frustrating. Not just for me, like this is my opinion, but I think it was consensus for a lot of people. And I and I even think, sorry, I'm coughing too much these days,
That's
but
okay.
sorry. But I even think, even for him, it was very, very difficult. He mentioned after the the Copa America win title, he said that he kept hitting his head against the wall, and one day the wall was going to break. And I think he was just that. He put that example, that metaphor. I think it goes a long way in explaining how he even felt about it. And of course, there was a lot of criticism, and some of it was really, really harsh, disrespectful. I, I, I wasn't, I wasn't
You were never
like
disrespectful.
that.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't like that. Like take the highway. It wasn't. It wasn't that way. I see what you mean, and I always been very critical of Di Maria and the way he was not being able to fulfill all his potential with the national team like he was doing at club level. I also I remember the day before the Copa America final, there were rumors about him being a starter or not, and I said, "Look, nobody deserves this more than Di Maria. I hope he has a great game, and he needs to have a bit of joy with the national team." And thankfully, uh, and because of him, he did. And after that, everything went like blossom. He was like
Yeah.
I don't know, everything started being rosy and beautiful, and
We
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 were
don't
really
win
happy about it.
we don't win the World Cup without winning the Copa America. We don't win the Copa America. Obviously, it was a team effort, but we
Definitely
don't
not.
win that final without Di Maria scoring that goal. So it's always been I'm not going to say a love-hate relationship, a love and maybe criticizing at times. Di Maria and myself included, of course. I think a lot of us, but it was never for his lack of passion or lack of trying. I don't think it was ever anything like
Not at
that. It
all.
was
Not at
just
all.
unlucky, just unlucky.
And also, he was really really unlucky, especially in big tournaments, because he always got injured.
Yeah,
Like in a Copa America, he got injured. At a World Cup against Belgium, got injured, and he just couldn't get a break. And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, he just can't
It-
put a foot wrong, and that is amazing. That is an amazing redemption story, and I'm really really happy because this was a guy who always played for the shirt, always put the team first, and never complain about anything. And he went through a lot, really a lot, and even from a young age. That's why I always like him, and I wanted him to do well. But then he got to a point in which I felt, and I accept, and I admit that I felt he was never gonna make it good, like proper, uh, proper success story. I always felt it wasn't gonna happen. But then again, I was wrong with that, and I'm very very happy I was wrong.
we're all glad you were wrong, Seba.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what my wife tells me all the time. Yeah,
oh boy. So we were talking about Lisandro Martinez and the change at the back,
yeah.
pushing up the pitch. We kind of have an idea. Rodrigo De Paul. It looks like Leandro Paredes is going to start. The third player in midfield, if we're assuming this will be a 4-3-3 and not a 4-4-2 or any other kind of formation, I'm going to ask everybody in the chat, who do you think will be the third player and who do you want to be the third player? And Seb, I'm going to throw it to you. Do you think it's going to be Alexis? Do you think it's going to be Enzo, Guido, Palacios?
Well, to me, for me, it has to be Alexis. If it was up to me, um, on form, especially Enzo, I adore Enzo. I think he's amazing. But if Paredes is already confirmed, then I have to go with Alexis. Um, because my midfield trio, my ideal midfield trio, would be Enzo, Rodrigo De Paul, and Alexis. But if Leandro Paredes is already confirmed, as it seems to be the case, then my third member of the midfield will be Alexis. On form, on positions that they play, um, how they move around, I believe Alexis is more compatible with the other two that we're mentioning. But again, it's like we said with the. It's like I said with the center backs. You can't go wrong with these type of
No.
players. Any combination. If you have Lo Celso, if you have Enzo, with any of them, you could be safe and feel comfortable ahead of any game.
Yeah. And the crazy part is that, let's say you do start Alexis McAllister, you know that you have Enzo Fernandez on the bench getting ready to come on. You know that you have someone like a Palacios who went undefeated with Leverkusen in the Bundesliga coming off the bench. You have the
Yeah.
option. And opposite as well, of course, if Enzo starts, you have Alexis on the bench as well. So I would be inclined to think that it will be Alexis over Enzo, just because I think Enzo as well is coming off from injury, and I don't think it's gonna, I don't think it's a great idea to have him play 3 matches in a span of about a week and a half. Anthony mentioning that it has been tweeted that McAllister is going to start, so the midfield would be De Paul, Paredes, and McAllister. I think that makes the most sense. I truly think so. Again, just because of Enzo coming back from injury.
And also, let's have in mind that Scaloni is a manager that trusts his own team. Obviously, you could see that. He ever since he built a core of players, we didn't see many changes. There were some changes for various reasons, but on top of that, on top of trusting his own team, his own troops, he always considers what he's going to be against, and he must be thinking speed is a factor tomorrow against Canada. Physicality is a factor, and maybe the decisions that he's taking have a lot to do with that. And he keeps doing it. He changes. He's never playing. He may be playing the same core of players, but then he throws a surprise every now and then. He plays the tactical game, like we seen in the final, in the World Cup final, when he moved Di Maria to the left and practically won the game with that move. It was like a chess move. Nobody expected it, and we opened the game through that. The first 2 goals
Yeah.
were because of that. So I believe maybe these decisions have a lot to do with what's in front of us. And if the opposition was different, more maybe a bit slower, where you are expected to have a lot of possession and need to filter a pass every now and then, break lines with a pass, with a through ball, then maybe Enzo has a better chance to start. And for now, I think he's going with speed and physicality in midfield.
Yeah, and I think that makes, again, I agree with that. I think it makes the most sense, and this would mean that Paredes would play as that defensive midfielder instead of Alexis McAllister, because after the World Cup we saw that Alexis and Enzo kind of switched, where Enzo was playing higher up the pitch and Alexis was more as the hybrid defensive midfielder, so to speak. But now Alexis really gets a chance to shine, just as he did at the World Cup, and play higher up the pitch. Him, Paredes, and De Paul, I don't think it's a midfield really we've really seen from the start ever. I can't remember the last time we saw that from the start. Are you surprised? And I'm asking everybody in the chat as well. Lo Celso doesn't start. I mean, he seems to be one of Scaloni's favorites from the very beginning, since Scaloni took over. Now he's more on the bench. Are you surprised by that, or you think it's kind of expected?
No, I wouldn't say I would be surprised. Unfortunately for him, he's really unlucky in big tournaments. The last World Cup, he had to miss it because he suffered an injury really close to the World Cup. And the previous one, he went to the World Cup, but Sampaoli
Didn't play.
I didn't even want to bring it up, but the 3 goalkeepers played at least 1 minute, a few minutes, whatever, one game. 3 goalkeepers played, but Lo Celso didn't play in a tournament that we were really rubbish, and he should have played a bigger role there. Anyway, I don't want to remember Sampaoli. My eyes start hurt. My head starts hurting. Anyway, so I wouldn't say a surprise because he didn't feature when we won the World Cup. Of course, he's part of the core players.
Yes.
But again, as I was saying just now, maybe Scaloni sees that this is a game more suitable for Alexis, Rodrigo de Paul. Well, Rodrigo de Paul plays everywhere, in
No
every
matter the
game,
match.
regardless of the opposition. Yeah, no matter what. I think he's one of the three uh, names that you won't see being removed from the starting 11, barring an injury, right? But for the rest, for the other positions, I think it has a lot more to do with thinking how the game will pan out, and maybe thinking is more suitable for others, and not necessarily because Lo Celso is not up for the task, but just a decision, a tactical decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, we spoke about this in previous videos. It's the depth and talent that Argentina has as well. When you have Lo Celso on the bench and Enzo on the bench and Palacios on the bench and Guido Rodriguez on the bench, it's an embarrassment of riches. It's an embarrassment of riches. Uh,
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
imagining Seba back to the basement. As for Lo Celso, I think he lost his way because of injuries. Yeah, the injuries didn't help. And Seba's basement free. He's been basement free for a long, long time.
That's the reason I arrived late. I couldn't find the keys.
There you go. I left it right there,
Yeah,
Seba. How
yeah.
did you miss it? How did you miss
Well, no, but
it?
you didn't turn on the lights. You didn't turn on the lights.
I can't make it that easy for you.
Uh,
Moving up. Well, before we get to that, let's get to George. George says, let's not forget Scaloni's like a mad scientist. He does his homework and he has a plan and set of players for each team that we face. We have options and Scaloni chooses them wisely. And that's one of the things I very much enjoy with Scaloni. I mean, the World Cup, the starting 11 in the first match, you see the team in the second match. By the third match, you have Julian and Enzo playing. Versus the Dutch, it's a back line of 5. Versus France, as you mentioned earlier, Seba, it's Di Maria playing on the left. Every match is different, and he adjusts to the team, to the opponent, but he adjusts while still imposing his style of play and his game. So in that sense, he is like a mad scientist. Absolutely.
I like that. I like that analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. If we go a little bit further up the pitch, we're now starting to get maybe rumors that Julian Alvarez is emerging as a starter. Now, do you think this means that maybe it's a 4-4-2 or I think I
Oops.
just lost power. We're good for
Oh
now.
my
We're good for
God.
now. I think we're good for now. We'll see what gives. But
This is
Seb,
a
I'm
bit
gonna throw it.
scary.
It's a bit scary. I'm going to throw it to you. And I'm just going
Yeah.
to pop off really
Yeah.
quickly. But do you think, do you think Julian starts in place of Lautaro, or do you think they both play?
I would be comfortable with any of them starting. Oh, sorry, I'm
I'm
laughing at
still here. No, no,
some
I'm
of the
still here.
comments
I'm
I
still
see in
here.
the background. No,
Don't worry.
no. They're telling you to pay the electricity bill,
That's it.
and they
I'm
also
still
use
here.
the word boludo. But anyway, um, this is live TV. This is live TV. So Lautaro or Julian, I guess everybody would agree. Uh, Again, embarrassment of riches, some might say. Um, we we should be fine with any of them starting. Um, Again, this could be tactical. This could be something that Scaloni has studied from Canada and how they play out the back, um, how you could pressure them, and how they must be under difficulties if you pressure them. So it could be that Julian is favored over Lautaro in this case for his speed, for his constant pressuring. Even though Lautaro is also the first defender whenever he plays for any team, he chases defenders playing out the back non-stop. So in that sense, both of them share the same characteristics. So I'm reading. You don't see the comments here, and now I'm alone. It's okay. You don't see the comments here. I don't have the ability to put the graphics. It's only Roy who manages that, but I can see the comments in the background, so I'm reading through the comments. There's a lot of people laughing at the blackout. People asking Roy to pay the electricity bill. So hopefully he'll be back. I'm keeping an eye just in case he writes. Oh, he's back. He's back. You change your shirt
There you
even?
go. I'm
No,
here. I'm here.
not the same. No,
No,
okay,
no,
okay,
no. This is still the Batistuta one from '98. Still the same
okay,
one.
okay,
It's I don't know what happened.
okay,
It's
okay.
we're having massive heat waves. I don't know if everyone has their ACs on. But this is live. We're live, everybody. These things happen.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's not, I wasn't criticizing you or anything like that. I
No, I
was
know.
treating you nicely. I was only saying good things. No.
Okay.
People were laughing a little bit. Yeah, it was a nervous moment. People were saying, "Hey, pay the electricity bill, whatever." But
You kept you
I'm
you
glad.
were
I'm
trying to keep me in the basement, I'll say, but it was you.
glad. Yeah. See how you feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just finishing and wrapping up my point on Julian or Lautaro, just to keep you up to speed.
Yeah.
I will feel comfortable with both of them. This is the kind of good feelings that you have when your team is full of proven people, full of World Cup champions, and you can't help but trust all of them, including the coaching staff. So whatever decision he takes, I'm sure we're going to be fine. And maybe it's another tactical decision, or he sees that Julian is a bit sharper in training, or he wants Julian to break this non-scoring spell. And what better opportunity than to do it at the opening game in the Copa America? So we're good. We're good with any of them
Yeah.
starting.
I didn't even think of that to be very honest in terms of, Julian maybe breaking his duck, so to speak, getting that first goal versus Canada. Maybe Scaloni sees this, at least on paper, and I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, I live in Canada, but maybe Scaloni sees it in terms of like on paper, this might be the easiest opponent in the group stages, even though it's the first match, and the first match tends to be probably the most trickiest of matches. And he thinks, well, you know what, Julian could maybe get his goal versus Canada, and Lautaro just had 2 goals versus Guatemala. So, going into the second and third match, both of his strikers have goals. So I didn't even think of something like that. But I would be
No, and
surprised.
also
And sorry, go ahead.
No, and also now that we see this modern football being played with 5 substitutions,
Yeah,
I'm sure we're going to see 5 substitutions, and one of them, it could be a case that both of them score tomorrow.
yeah,
Being optimistic, right? These are players that they don't need a lot of minutes to do some damage. So I think it's, if anything, it has more to do with the way Scaloni sees the game playing out and how he feels that we match up. Oh, now we have two.
now we have
Oh,
to.
we have two
We're
Roys.
switching. We're switching.
Look
We're
at
switching
this.
over. There you
Oh
go.
my
We're back.
god.
We're back. We're
Oh
back.
my god. I didn't get a screenshot. I don't know. I didn't know you had a twin. I didn't know you had a
I do,
twin.
but very,
That is
very,
amazing.
very handsome twin. Um, it's too. This is
Oh my
live,
god.
everybody. It's technical difficulties we have to adjust. But it gets the people going. It gets the
Oh,
people going, right? George calling me an alien. It makes sense. VC2 Royce.
yeah.
I'll let. I locked up my twin, and there you go. And he's locked up with
Yeah,
Sebastian.
I was like, I was like, what? We were talking about Julian, and now Roy is everywhere, just like Julian. He's
Just
like,
like Julia.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Dave. I interrupted you. Go ahead. In terms of
It's fine.
the
No,
two
it's fine.
substitutes, the modern game.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, having a strong squad and having 5 substitutions uh, to make. I mean, it's a complete nightmare to face a team like Argentina. There aren't many teams that could have such a depth. And also, I want to pick on something you said because It's all very nice. We start an international tournament tomorrow, and we are agreeing on everything. Everything looks green and rosy and beautiful and smells nice. I want some controversy because people will get bored. But you
Ah,
just said that Canada could be the easiest opponent, and
on
I
paper.
think I have to disagree. On paper or whatever, yeah, logic or history or whatever. I think I have to disagree with that. And I believe maybe Peru are not doing well lately. I think we should have. Um, we should have an easier way, an easier path against Peru than against Canada, because with Canada you also have the tension of the debut. It doesn't matter how much you played and how many tournaments you won or played. The debut is always the debut. There's a lot of elements that go on there, and Canada have a strong physical team that could pose a challenge. In my opinion, could be bigger than Peru. I can I can hear you, and I'm not sure if
Ah,
anybody
there you
can.
go. Now this should this
I,
there
I
you
can
go.
hear you now. I can hear you
There
now.
you go. There you go. Thank you for that, Seba. Technical difficulties.
No problem.
Today's
Yes.
not my day. Today's not my day in that sense. But no, well, I was gonna say. I mean, technically that is true. I mean, Peru is not doing too well right now, and in the opening match, look, this is gonna sound weird to say. Canada technically, the pressure is not on them, right? They have nothing to lose. I mean, they have something to lose. They have a football game. They have 3 points, but you understand what I mean in terms of the pressure is gonna be on Argentina, and they have nothing to lose in that sense. So Canada could play their game, they could attack, they could sit back, they could try and do whatever they want to disrupt Argentina. The pressure is going to be on Argentina to score and to win, because anything other than a win for Argentina, maybe it's the high standards, maybe because in my opinion it's the best team in the world, but anything other than a win for Argentina would be a disappointment, I think.
Absolutely,
Again, no
absolutely.
disrespect to Canada whatsoever.
And then for me, if this Copa America arrived, say 3 months before, 6 months before, I would have said, well, yeah, Chile will be a walk in the park for us. They have nothing. They are helpless. Um, there are no superstars in their team. But now they have Gareca, and all of a sudden, it's a different proposition. The other day they had a great performance in the last friendly that they played. They were great, and that's what a good manager can do to a team. And then there's some rivalry, there's some history. So I don't think it's going to be a very comfortable game. Obviously, any game can become comfortable if you score in the first two possessions, whatever. But on paper, I think Chile could be a
Yeah,
complication.
could
We should, in theory, on paper,
win all three.
comparing the strengths of we should win all three. And this is not being arrogant or whatever. The stats and the history is there, and the evidence is there. Um, I don't. I mean, we could play a little game and say how many Canadian players can make it into the starting 11 for Argentina, how many Peruvians and how many Chilean. I would be surprised if we come up with two,
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
three rivals combined. This is not,
Yes.
again, not being arrogant, but position by position, pound for pound, I think it's uh, it's no debate, really.
Yeah. And
But it's an international tournament. There's some rivalry elements there. There's a good manager now, having taken charge of Chile, so it's not gonna be it's not gonna be automatic for us.
no, 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 at all. Absolutely at all. And it seems like every match there's some history or something attached to it. The match versus Chile, I mean, Chile, for whatever reason, it's as if we keep playing against them in every single Copa America. Uh, This one's going to be at MetLife Stadium, going back to 2016. We know what happened there. The opening match is very, very tricky. George mentioning, didn't we lose the World Cup opener versus Iceland 2018? That was a draw. It was the 1-1 draw with Aguero scoring. But
felt like a defeat. Yeah.
It felt like a defeat. Very, very much so. Very much so. And I think we drew versus Chile in 2021 in the opening match. If I'm not mistaken, Messi scored the free kick, and then they had a penalty, which I think Vidal missed the penalty but scored the rebound. And the openers are always very tricky. And I'm going to go back to a comment from earlier. I think MMH said the Saudi game will always be on their mind, and especially for this group 2 years after the World Cup. That's got to be there. Never underestimate the opponent.
Yeah. No, we have a long history of bad debuts. Like, think Italy 1990 against Cameroon, we lost. Spain 82, we lost against Belgium. Both of those debuts were with Argentina being the current world champion, the defending world champion, and we lost badly both occasions. So there are precedents, and if anything, I think this coaching staff prepares the team quite well, and also the players themselves. They will never forget the Saudi game, as MMH is saying there. It will be on their minds, and they won't give anything for granted, and they will want to go out there and win it. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be on their mind. And if you listen to, Messi gave an interview yesterday. Scaloni kind of spoke about it in the press conference earlier today. Messi said we have to be aware, we have to be ready, we have to be prepared, type of thing. We can't underestimate any opponent. And look, again, on paper, Argentina should win, but anything could happen. Literally anything could happen. And we saw it, and we continue to see it. Unfortunately, it always appears to happen with Argentina in most tournaments, unfortunately. A couple of more things. In terms of the starting 11, we know Emiliano Martinez is going to start, and I'm asking this question to everybody as well. Tagliafico over Acuna, Seba, you think gets the start? I know you're a massive Acuna fan, the biggest one on the planet, but Tagliafico starts?
Well, I don't have the information. Again, but if it was up to me, it would be Acuna,
Yeah.
No, if it was up to me, Acuna, for this one, again, I was talking about the physicality and speed. When it comes to speed, maybe Tagliafico edges it a little bit. He certainly looks faster than Acuna, but when it comes, it's not a big difference in terms of speed. But when it comes to physicality, I think nobody plays more physical than Acuna. For me, he can certainly own that left side for Argentina and do a perfect job. I would go with Acuna if he's fit, completely fit, because he used to be carrying injuries in the past. But now, if he's fit, when both of them are fit, I have no doubts in my mind whatsoever. It's Acuna.
It's Acuna for you. All right. I'm gonna be a little bit different. George is saying he's not crazy about Acuna, and he's a Racing fan. So I'll let you and Seb. I'll let you.
I don't understand. I don't understand
about that. I'll have to go with myself personally. I'll have to go with Tagliafico. Jambi, hello to you. Missed you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Hola, Jambi. Gracias por el saludo.
Janet, the Canadians are bigger. We need Acuna's physicality. So this could be a toss-up. This could be a toss-up in terms of what we get out of this one. We know.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't bring their hockey sticks and helmets and all that.
No, it's a red card. That's a red card.
It could be nasty. It could be nasty. You can see some slashing and elbowing.
Although, if you imagine Lisandro and Kuti with the hockey sticks, that would be fun.
That would be some sight, huh?
That would
That
be
would be some
something.
sight.
If that were to happen. Well, we
Yeah,
know both of them
I
are gonna.
guess.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Seba.
Yeah. No, they will have their skates in their hands, slashing throats. That would be very, very dangerous. Forget
Yeah,
about the sticks.
forget about that. We'll leave them at home. BC think the odd makers all have Canada as favorites to finish last, even below Peru, which I mean that's kind of surprising in a to a certain degree. Uh, Janet saying hockey sticks. Seba, I laughed out loud. I love it. That was a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm watching.
The-
I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals. I really
ah,
like every sport. I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals, so it's present in my mind. I also went to see Inside Out too, and there's
okay,
a lot of
okay.
hockey involved. So yeah, hockey. Yeah, I really recommend. I really recommend that film to
Uh,
everybody.
BC is a Florida Panthers fan. BC is a Florida Panthers fan. All right.
Right.
Some people are asking for score predictions. We'll potentially get to that in just a little bit. On the right side, everybody as well. Molina over Montiel, or are you going with Montiel over Molina?
I'll go with
Molina.
Molina. I'll go with Molina. Yeah, for this one.
Molina. Yeah, that's that. We agree on that one. I think Molina is in better form. I think he's kind of become the undisputed right back, so to speak. Midfield, Alexis, De Paul, Paredes. No real surprise there. I think we kind of agreed on that. Up front, I mean, Messi, Di Maria, Lautaro for you is what you would go with, Seba.
I will go with those three. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I wouldn't have any issues. I wouldn't have any issues if Julian starts over Lautaro.
yeah. And now to go maybe a little bit deeper, and I was having this conversation with Osvaldo in the last live discussion. We'll throw it back out to everybody. If Argentina somehow, some way, for whatever reason, need a goal, whether we're losing, whether it's a draw, up front, do you bring in Julian Alvarez for Lautaro? Do you keep Lautaro there and you bring Julian for Di Maria? Do you bring Garnacho? Do you bring Nicolas Gonzalez? How would you maybe kind of shift that around? I know it's kind of a loaded question, but off the bench, if Argentina needed a goal, how would you maybe approach that one?
Well, and this squad gives you the possibility to play around, try different things, and why not play two wide players and two pure strikers in the middle, fighting for headers and for rebounds, or to get a through ball or whatever. And you could play both of them, Lautaro and Julian. To me, they will play. They will be very, very strong as a partnership up front. I see it as a desperate measure, right? Not
Right.
to start with, because you need Messi. You need to give more room to Messi to operate in. If you put if you put Julian and Lautaro together up front as points of reference, and then you put two wide players, one of them have to be Messi, and I don't think he has the engine anymore to do that a lot. And you will be demanding a lot from him in a one-on-one situation against the left back. And also, you have to imagine that if you're throwing that sort of forwards formation, it's because the opposition is going to be parking the bus.
Deep. Yeah, deep.
So, 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 but you have players that can unlock uh, a strong defense and a numerous defense, um, and they can unlock it via through balls, playing the intelligent pass, or in one-on-one ability. Like you have Garnacho, you could throw Garnacho, Di Maria to the sides. See, but I don't know if it works with Messi as part of the equation. If Messi wasn't there, it seems more more realistic to play like that.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. I totally understand what you mean, and especially Messi now at his age to do that would be a little bit
Yeah,
maybe too demanding. I don't know if that's a word when it comes to Messi, because it feels like whenever we are demanding or people are demanding, he always pulls it off. He always ends up pulling it off. Let's get to the comments. George is saying Lautaro's hungry and good form, stick him there. Kosiniat saying in this situation, Correa and Dybala would be perfect. Sreyas Garnacho to come on as a super sub. He is a replacement of Papu Gomez. Sorry, go ahead, Seba. You want to say something?
No, maybe on this comment, maybe positionally, it could be that you could consider Garnacho being a replacement of Papu, but I think when it comes to situations during the game, they're different, very, very different. And for me, Garnacho has a very, very good opportunity in this Copa America. If Argentina are ahead by 2 goals, for example, and he comes on as a sub, and he will have a lot of room to operate, because you would imagine the other team will be chasing a goal and will leave a lot of room to operate. A lot of space for Garnacho to attack with his supersonic speed. We saw Garnacho last time he played. I think he was against Costa Rica, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
one friendly. He didn't have a lot of room to operate. He couldn't make a lot of difference. And I think for Garnacho, he's a player that
needs the
can be affected a lot by different situations, right? If he has a lot, if he was playing in a counter-attacking team like Real Madrid, for example, like they do that very, very well. He will be great for that sort of setting. And so I think for this Copa America, it could be a great opportunity for Garnacho to find those situations, get introduced as a sub when the opposition is tired and open, and then really make an impact.
Yeah.
But for Papu was different, especially in the later stages of his career. He was more a player you could put against a tight defense, sitting back, and he will find
the
a
passes
pass,
or the
or he will
dribbles,
find other dribbles and a combination, a 1-2, a quick one. To me, Garnacho lacks a little bit of that in terms of when he's operating in a tight space. He's flashing fast, but maybe he needs to develop a little bit more the decision making, and I think he's a bit raw at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's more of a situational player for the second half for me.
Yeah, but definitely a great super sub if needed, and especially as you mentioned, if Argentina is leading and he has that space to run in behind the back line or really push the back line. Absolutely. I'm excited to see him. I always say it. I'm excited to see Garnacho, and hopefully he shows up for Argentina. Anthony's saying if we're chasing a goal, he would put Garnacho on the left wing, Lautaro as a center forward, Messi as the attacking midfielder, and Di Maria down on the right wing. And the good thing about this is technically Garnacho and Di Maria could switch wings as well. Garnacho's played a lot of the time for Manchester United on the right side, and he's done very well. And I mean, Di Maria could play practically anywhere up front, or at least on both sides of the pitch on the wing.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sreyas, I'd rather not think about this one a little bit too much. Not looking forward to this. Varun saying interested in Messi versus Davies. Yeah, I mean, it would be the first time with the national team we've seen Barcelona versus Bayern, and I mean, it's a Barcelona disaster whenever that would happen. George saying Garnacho will be a sub. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would like to see Messi with Ray Davies or Dave Davies from the Kings. That would be something. You really got me there. Yeah.
That would be a picture. That would be a sight to behold.
Messi versus Davies. All I could think was Ray Davies. Yeah.
That'd be a sight to behold. Garnacho will be a sub for Di Maria. I mean, I suppose it depends on the situation for sure. There's also Nicolas Gonzalez as well, although I don't think many people are too high on him lately for Argentina. Shah Fitness saying Garnacho brings in the speed and energy, and BC. I mean, me too, my friend. Absolutely, that'd be a nice one. Garnacho scoring a goal, in the overhead one like he did for United. Um,
Speaking of Garnacho scoring, have you seen there was a cartoon? It went really viral. I don't remember if it was BR Football who did it. I don't know which account it was who did it, and it was Garnacho scoring a goal, and then everybody, all these cartoon characters, Messi, De Paul, everybody were chasing Garnacho to celebrate, and then Garnacho does the
this
Siu celebration
yeah,
as like Cristiano Ronaldo, and then Messi becomes angry, and the World War III starts with that, and it really it really puzzles me, but you can't help it. Garnacho was born in Spain. 100% sure he supports Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo was his idol, and now he plays with Messi, and there's a rivalry there that you can't help
yeah,
see and have, but Garnacho needs to give Cristiano Ronaldo a little break in terms of bringing him to center stage. He needs to forget about it if he wants to be well liked by everybody in Argentina.
yeah. He really divides the fan base. Some like him, and some not so much because of, I mean, specifically the reason or reasons you just kind of mentioned. But I mean, you can't blame him. Born and raised in Madrid, so it's
Absolutely, absolutely.
not much of a surprise.
But I mean, if he scores, I hope he doesn't do the
I,
Siu, but he will be doing it.
I don't know if he'll do it. I'll. I mean, I guess he'd have to score first, but I don't think he'll do it. Not with Argentina. I think he could continue doing it with United, but maybe not with Argentina. I don't know. We'll see. I guess time will tell.
We'll see, we'll see.
We'll see. George is saying this really is the best Argentina generation, and we've had some heavy hitters in the past. I mean, this is a loaded one. This is a loaded comment because I mean the jersey that I'm wearing, the 1998. This was a solid team. I love that team.
Yeah,
Uh, Batty, Simeone.
2006, 2000. We had like remember when they were calling it the four fantastic, uh,
Yeah, fantastic.
Messi, Higuaín, Di Maria, Agüero. When
It's
we had yeah, we had so many heavy hitters
yeah.
as George is saying.
Even I mean, at
Um,
one point, especially the midfield, just I mean, the playmakers, the attacking midfielders. At one point, we had Riquelme, Aymar, Veron, um, Ortega towards the end of his career, Gallardo towards the end of his career, and those were essentially players in one position. Those were four
yeah.
or five players in one.
Also, I remember '94 was really really loaded. Maradona, Redondo, Canigia, Batistuta, Simeone. That was probably stronger generation
Yeah, even
if you consider one by one.
even 2002. I mean, we know what happened at the World Cup, but at least going into the World Cup, that was as good of a team as you'll
Yeah,
see anywhere. And
yeah,
it's but that generation, and I love that generation. I mean, I'm wearing a Bati shirt. I love them. They were missing something. I don't know if it was Messi that they were missing or luck or whatever it was, but there were definitely some heavy hitters for sure. Absolutely for sure.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to win. I mean,
no,
I'm saying the understatement of the year here, right? It's not easy to win. You could do everything perfect, but then
yeah,
there's somebody else who does it perfect as well, and their perfect is more perfect than your perfect. And
yeah.
we've
It's
seen many of those over the years.
it's the and they all hurt differently. They all hurt or sting differently. But I don't want us to end on that kind of negative or sour note.
No,
Um,
please, no.
no. I'm gonna ask Seba if you want to do this because I know normally we don't. Predictions, or we're not talking about this.
7-0 Ah, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I went with a ridiculous one, so nobody believed it.
Oh, wait. You said
Yeah,
7-0,
no,
but you
I'm
didn't.
going.
You didn't specify who. You didn't specify who.
No, it's gonna be a win for us, um, and I'm gonna say by three goals.
Okay, Seba going out. By the way, for those that know Seba, this is massive. The Seba does not
Yes,
normally do
I never
predictions.
do it,
He never does
but
it.
I mean, we took the monkey off our backs already, and
That's
and
true.
now doesn't
It's
matter.
true.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's true.
Uh,
And I wanna say something before we get to the comments about the scores, and actually asking everybody, do you feel more relaxed going into this tournament, knowing that we've finally won a Copa, we've finally won a World Cup? Like, there's not that extra added pressure going. I don't know if you get what I mean. You understand a little bit what I mean in terms of like not having as much pressure maybe going into this, knowing that we've already watched this team win and they're doing very well.
Yeah, for me, it's a definite yes. I feel a lot more at ease. I don't feel pressure at all, and I don't even feel. I don't even. I'm not even concerned because I know complacency is not part of the DNA of this team.
Mm,
So what happens when a team starts winning and all of a sudden you go from Copa America finalissima, if you want to put it a little bit below,
yeah,
and then you go to the World Cup, which is the highest you could get. So these guys are coming from the highest possible accolade, and the risk when it happens is that they may lower their guard, um, be complacent, don't be up for it. These guys, they're up for blood. I mean, and we know that. We know that they want to win another. They just don't care if they want it. They don't care that if they don't win it, nobody will criticize or do anything silly against them. They, I'm not even concerned because I'm not guarding against complacency because
yeah,
that's it. It's not going to happen. They're going to go for it. The minute the ball gets rolling, they're gonna want to hammer the opposition. They want to keep winning.
yeah, yeah. I feel the same way. I feel the same way, and I feel like, let's say, just as an example, Argentina would have won the World Cup and they would have beaten, let's say, Saudi Arabia. Going into this, if they would lose, let's say, versus Canada, I don't know how this team maybe would react. Like Argentina has gone through everything. We've went through the penalty kicks versus Colombia. We've went through a last-minute goal versus the Dutch. We've went through penalty kicks versus the Netherlands. We've gone through 2 goals in the World Cup final in 90 seconds versus France. We've gone through everything, all of that. And these players, I mean, there's nothing these players technically they haven't been through or haven't seen, and all kinds of emotions. And as you said, this team is not complacent at all. Maybe in the friendly matches, it is what it is. It's friendlies and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
going into a tournament, they don't sound complacent at all. At least from what's being perceived and what they're showing off. And Mikel, exactly. Scaloni is not going to allow that. He won't allow that. Varun saying, I don't think so. This is Di Maria's last tournament. I want a happy send off. Um, John, I'm the same, somewhat relaxed, can't help it. Taste of success and the song once more. Absolutely, my friend.
yeah.
Absolutely. Getting back really quickly, then we'll wrap things up in terms of some of the score predictions. Shah Fitness saying Argentina will win 3-1. Strellas 4-1. Zongao, a 2-goal win by Argentina. Janet 3-1. Kursiniats
The
2-0.
last,
3-1. Yeah.
that I'm seeing a lot of predictions with Canada scoring. So I hope Divo is not watching this because Divo is gonna want to make you eat your words. I mean, he wants a clean sheet. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This is the guy who won't allow any complacency. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna play tomorrow like if he was the
World
World
Cup
Cup
final.
final,
Yeah.
and yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't distinguish friendlies or cup finals or whatever.
At all.
Um,
At all. And
yeah,
that's what makes him Dibu. That's what makes him what he is. That's really what makes him.
exactly.
I'm gonna give my prediction. I'm gonna say 3-0. And I see maybe all three goals, or I see maybe one goal in the first half and two in the second. I might go a little bit more specific, but I say 3-0 Argentina. That's my final prediction. And I say that knowing what happened versus Saudi Arabia. Let's say that. Let's say that. And Calvin saying teams proven to deal with adversity. The mentality is there.
Absolutely.
Anything before we wrap things up, Seba? Anything else?
No, I was surprised to read in the comments that in India they won't have a live broadcast, and I'm very, very sad to hear that. I hope you get to see the game regardless, maybe on the internet. It's a shame because we have so many fans in India,
Yeah.
and these games should be made available to the whole world. So I hope for fans in India, I hope you get a chance to watch it. And because I know we're stronger when everybody is watching. We've seen it. We experienced it during the last World Cup. I don't think anybody can count how many million people were happy to see Messi win the World Cup and desperate for Messi to win the World Cup, and everybody was throwing all that energy together at the same time. It was impossible. It was impossible to lose it. So
Yeah.
I hope you get to experience this tournament as well everywhere you are. And thanks to everybody for always supporting us and for for witnessing the birth of Roy's twin, even if it was for just a few seconds there. We saw history today. We saw two Roy's and one Seba, and that was amazing. That was a great moment to be alive.
That was the magic of internet and and technology right there. Hopefully, no more two Roys, and it's just the one. It's just the one Seba. Um, thank you
Yeah,
everybody
to
for.
Seba, I have a contract. Two Sebas cannot be in the same room. Okay,
No, no,
and
no,
we don't fit. We don't fit. We don't fit.
no two Sebas, no two Roys. We only have one Seba, and just myself, just myself. Tomorrow, Argentina versus Canada. The Copa America officially begins. Seba, are we going to be doing a live discussion afterwards? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. It might be a little bit late for you.
Yeah. No, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Yeah,
Excellent. Perfect.
definitely.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. I just want to say a big thank you once more to everybody. Much love. Thank you very much, everybody. All the comments all around the world. As always, we are going to be live again. You heard it from Seba himself. We're going to be live again tomorrow after Argentina's match versus Canada. Di Maria. Seba doing the Di Maria celebration. Thank you, everybody. If
Exactly.
you like what you saw, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button. To be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. Thank you, everybody. My name is Roy Nemer. This is Seba Garcia of Mundo Albiceleste. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, take care. Much love. Bye, everybody.
Gracias.